Hola, hola. There are different words, different names mean different things. So I wear this last name, and I noticed around 14 to 18 that it had a meaning. And we used to go to the library in school, and I don't know what people would run to, but I would look for books in Italy or books on words like names. I always wanted to know what the name was. And then we went to church all the time. We heard of Moses and Aaron, and now we're waiting for Jesus to fly in, which would be, I guess, the equivalency of this. I was in the Catholic Church. I know that that's supposed to be Jesus, but it doesn't say Jesus. It says in Daniel 10:21, I tell you the truth that's written in the scriptures, there's none that sitteth with me these things, but Michael your prince. Then in Daniel 12, Michael stands up. It doesn't say that he descends. So, but it says that all eyes will see him coming in honor and royalty, coming in the clouds of the heavens. So if we're past this time now, and we don't know that this right here is the clouds of the heavens, let me show you here. This is how we do this. This is exact. This is how the Bible is laid out. I just got done listening to a man use words say that God didn't exist and such. But what it is no one's brought us to the understanding that these are connected to words and language and voice as through time words are arching too, and God says he knows the end from the beginning, then the beginning from the end. So our measurement has to come from here to there, and then there to here. So we have to know which stories to pay attention to and which ones not to right off the bat. Because if we have an angel in the New Testament, it says 21:17, the measurer, he's an angel and he's a man, and he measures the temple. What? Measure? But we know God hates poor measure. He hates unfair gain. And I see somewhat of a pattern there. I might be wrong. You might not see that. But so we got to stop calling this a halo because that's hagiocracy. And that's tied with these, with the red moon and the eclipse and the moon cycles. And that's how Israel knows what time it is and when it is. Last year was 5777. Now we're in 5778. And the Hamashiach's been seen in Torah codes, which is another discrepancy that's out there. Meaning that if you haven't paid attention, that, been looking for a period of over 20 years, that through all of these letters, 304,000 I think it is, and some other amount for the letters in the Torah, and then you mix that up like a word puzzle, only in equal distance sequences, equator, to equate, equal, line upon line, equal. So these are connections that I make that are already there and existing, and I know I drive people crazy because I'm looking at things that are factual, that are behind us, because if I keep hearing somebody say that this thing's coming, and even in church we have no relation to this thing as the witness unto the Lord in Isaiah 19, and that being an all-seeing eye instead of being open-eyed, and this is it's male and female that goes to a male. That's all we can say for that right now, because there is no prophecy that calls for a woman coming. But there seems to be a position marker that they've been showing. Anyway, here in the West, I'll try and get that in there, but that's the summer triangle. And they've been showing this to us in movies like Legion, End of Days, Knowing, Paycheck, Michael, Mrs. Porter, A Gatekeeper, and Michael. Gatekeeper and Michael. Michael John Travolta. Legends. Legion. You getting it? See? Kings and Queens. The Eagle, Aquila. The Eagle, Aquila. That's amazing. How'd you get in here? That door was locked. The priest, Michael. Knowing. How about this one? National Treasure. Mr. Gates. Don't they put this thing in his hands? He's at the end of the movie, Michael, after they find the treasure, you see, before they find the stairway to get out of there, and then Riley says to the Egyptian guy, he goes, you know, you're a really big man. It must be significant. So, Cygnus. So there is a template of information that's already out there that's still going to connect with this lexicon book, Hebrew and English. And if we go to the Bible, we'll find out that there are voices that are written in the stars, and we don't know how many elect there are. But I believe that's the office, because that office has to be the office of the high priest. And that's a person who also leads people into the promised land at this time. I'm not sure about how the Jewish people are going to all get there and everybody going to want to stay there, because I personally wouldn't even want to stay there. I personally would like a nice place, low forest land, with, certain places where I've already thought that I'd like to live. But if we have to go do a job, we have to do a job. I know one thing, this thing never came. It's past time. I too have about 300,000 hours at this in all sciences, because this is A and B. And these are in the stars. They're written in Psalm 19. It says all the lines, all the speech, all the tongues, all over the earth. It says there's no place where their voice cannot be heard. And we see now on the internet they're showing a male and a female. Now that can't be, because every time they show us Isis, they're showing us something that we can't understand. But we know one thing, she always has a red moon on her, right? Always. So let me see if I can find something like that, because I know I have it in here. Here we go, right here. Okay, now, and we've all seen this. The thing is that we're seeing this particular thing over and 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 over, male and female, but no one's telling us, because they told us that not only did Christopher Columbus discover this place, which would be impossible because King Solomon did that with the Exum gathering, and we see the evidence here still to this day, Mexica. So this would be Lyra, and then we have Inseparable, and then we have Unicode. Excuse me for getting my face so close. But anyway, we have something else going on here, because by dictionary, this is supposed to be human, Malak, right now, of the line of King David, and of the line of Levi. Done. Okay, now excuse my passion. So, how about if this was Lyra and Aquila and this was Earth, and then we had a line, an equator line, and as these signs rose up in the east, and then they set in the west, that these things would be lining up, and that would be telling us what's going on. Anyway, I feel like I'm losing my battery pack here again, so I want to stop before I get cut off. But that's a constellation, and it has to do with these things as well as the male. That's all there is to it, because we see even the eclipse down there. And this came out in 1996. So the people who really know the Bible are the ones who are running the show. Everybody else making comments can't do anything about it because Mr. Obama was under the La Aquila sign a long time ago. So for me, in August 25th, 2017, I believe, I believe that's the date. Isaac Moseson he put his nose out there, but I know to put mine out for some particular reason, I just match things simply. Wings, a gatekeeper last name, famous warrior, which goes to another word in the dictionary, which goes to another letter, and it begins to go backwards into the encapsulation. That's how our names work, etymology and such. And he's stating that we're no longer a lost tribe. Now, it's funny because I've been telling my family for many, many, many years to please take a look. Here's a man over in Israel saying that. That's a pretty big statement. And I noticed that no one's coming to chase me down. But here's another big statement, because this one, he's verifying our last name as being a Portal name. That's a mix, that's a sire blend. And then here's something incredible too. So I'm not allowed to show these things because the people in my life, particularly my family, wouldn't want to support something like that on the Lexica, because they'd rather blow it off as something less important than what it is, which is, see, they would get sucked into it if they did participate. So that's okay, I understand that part. But the part that I don't understand is how come the green beans are always raved about, and I can't get hey, attaboy. So we have some communication problems because attaboy right there, attaboy. So let's see if we can find this eagle anywhere, because I'm always told that it's not. And here's the gatekeeper family, that's a noun, to restore the temple. Hey, let's move fast, because this is how I think, and this is all exact, but I've been through this, but you should be able to take this stuff in. Princes by their names. This is in Numbers. Now we have numbers mixing with names. Okay, that's the Egypt thing. There's a Chumash, that original Chumash. I never knew that till I went looking on my own. I had to leave the teachers. Then accidentally I became this eagle. Of course, I was paid the lowest, but I was still voted the best band, which they said could never be. But, they don't even know what that means still. So, again, we're dealing with some hidden factors, and I'm not going to say anything. But this letter is not even representative of their own words, because that's what I told them when I went in there. In fact, my skills demanded $3,000, which is over what they were paying the bands. So I'm always told no, I'm always told I'm an idiot, but there they are right there. There's the two. And here they are again. You got to know how to find them on your own. These are even upside down, because the Lyra will fall down before the Aquila into the west, at west index marker, like a clock. And then Cygnus, if I gave you a pencil and a piece of paper and I said, please write down Cygnus, you would still write down Signus. So now phonetics kicks in. So we have phonetics, we have Ezekiel 1, where it's supposed to be a face of an angel, a face of an eagle, Lion of the tribe of Judah, a secondary ox, a man, face of an eagle. That's crazy. See, we got to get away from the pictures and the paintings, and we have to go through the data.